Let's give some advice to friends and families who are considering relocating to Ghana.
I mean, me being biased, I'll say to you, do it. But definitely come and visit first, because it took me coming back home, age 19, for me to have that vision. And I'm not going to lie, Ghana is not for everybody. You know, that's why you kind of need to come in and have that visit and do that groundwork to see whether it is for you or not. And also, if you're coming as an individual or as a family, you have to consider all this stuff as well. You understand? But definitely visit first to get a feel of the land, see if it is for you or not. And it doesn't have to be Ghana necessarily. There's other places in Africa that you can try out as well. So yeah.
Let's just do some quick comparison, right? What you've been able to do here in Ghana, what do you think would have taken for you to do the same in the UK? Bear something like that.
Based on my personal situation, the best I could do was a mortgage.
A mortgage?
Yeah.
Okay.
But this is mine.
Paid for?
Yeah, do you understand? This is mine. I'm not owning a bank for 25, 30 years. But if I could do it in the UK, I'm going to be paying a bank for 25, 30 years. And even then, who knows? Because the inflation, they've just, like, a lot of people are crying at the moment because their mortgage prices have gone up, like the interest rate. So, yeah, this is mine. No one's coming to tell me, you know, the disclaimer that they put. You may lose your home if you don't put it. Yeah. I don't have that disclaimer.
So you can pay for 25 years, miss some payments in the last 5 years, and you might lose your house.
Less than 5 years, mate.
Interesting.
They're not going to give you 5 years to not pay.
But this is yours.
This is mine.
I like that.
And it took me less than 25 years.
If you're a diasporan, right, living in the US, UK, any of the Caribbean countries looking to move to Ghana, buy a land and build your house, this video is for you. Today, I'm here with someone who have done exactly that, relocated from the UK to Ghana and purchased land and built her own property in this neighborhood, which is East Legon Hills. If you know, you know. This is one of the most sought after locations here in Ghana, Accra. And she has one of the most biggest and beautiful houses in the neighborhood. I'm here to communicate with her, to chat with her, how she was able to do it. And what did it take exactly? What was the process like? And so, if you're interested and you want to see yourself do exactly what she has done, you know, in the near future, this video is for you. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. That's very fancy. Hello.
Hello, Hayford.
Have patience.
Nice to meet you.
Likewise.
Nice to meet you.
This is a beautiful house. Do you know what I want to say? This looks very big in person than I saw on your YouTube channel.
Okay.
Wow, this is a beautiful house.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I want my audience, you know, to learn how you made it happen. Who are you? Where did you relocate it from? And how you able to do something like this?
No worries at all. Yeah, I'll be sharing some of that today.
So we're sitting down now.
Yeah.
I still have a few questions. You know, I want your accent is different. It's almost like you were born in the UK.
No. So I left Ghana when I was 7 years old.
I see.
So very young. Then I went to the UK. And I always have this memory of when I came. The day I was supposed to come, I remember I was selling pure water on my head outside. And one of my family members came to call me and told me to come home and get ready and pack.
To go abroad?
Yeah. So my parents and 2 of my siblings were already in the UK.
Wow.
So I'm the eldest of 8 children. So the one after me and then the third born came to the UK first. The third born was still a baby, like a mum's back. And then before I then came and joined them.
You were selling pure water?
Listen.
Where was that?
I was a hustler from young, trust me. People see me now and they think I'm a princess.
Yeah.
I'm only a princess now because that's how my husband treats me. But, But I'm a very hardworking person from young. I grew up in Abeka.
Abeka, La Paz.
Yeah, so that's
Interesting.
Yeah,
Wow. So you got opportunity to go to the UK,
that's right.
did your education,
That's
and then
right.
stayed there and
Yeah.
built your life.
Yes.
Well, how was it when living in the UK? I mean, obviously you grew up in Ghana, so it's a different environment.
I mean, obviously, I was very young when I left here.
Yeah.
So, as it is everyone's dream that you to go abroad, for greener pastures is like the dream. Because apparently, even on that day, I was there singing and teasing everybody that I was
Going abroad.
going and leaving them, and being there. The excitement quickly wore off as a youngster going there. I remember meeting black people there for the first time and just assuming that we were all Ghanaians, because I've come from Ghana, I've gone to UK. As far as I'm concerned, every black person is a Ghanaian.
Interesting.
And they very quickly showed me that no, that's not the case. Funny enough, the prejudice that I experienced didn't come from white people, it was from Jamaicans, unfortunately.
Really?
Yeah, the Jamaicans were the ones that made life very difficult.
Really?
Because
What was some of the prejudice?
because at that time it wasn't cool to be African.
I see.
It was not cool to be African. So a lot of like friends and even one of my siblings, like they would pretend to be Jamaican when they were outside because they feel accepted. I used to get bullied as well as a youngster because of my African accent.
Oh.
But then I had other people that stood up for me. Again, Jamaicans as well, that they
Stood up for you.
the ones whose families educated them on like their background. Like I know a lot of people don't believe that they come from African heritage, but those ones who grew up in homes where their parents instilled that into them, they were also the ones that used to defend me and stick up for me at the same time. So yeah.
So was it easy fitting in?
No, and then because I was quite a quiet child, I made friends. Don't get me wrong, I made friends, but I always still felt a bit like an outsider for the longest time. I think college was probably when I kind of started finding my clique. Like my lifelong friends I developed when I started college. School, I had one really good friend, and then we kind of separated as life went on. But the people who I still call friends to this day was the ones I met in college.
Interesting. And then after college, you have your own career and everything.
Yes. So after college, I just kept.
What were you retailing?
Say that again.
What were you retailing?
So initially, I started with this gentleman who started this phone shop. So he was selling mobiles, and he was also doing the call center for anyone that wanted to call home. Back then you had to get that calling card, but he built booths where people could come in, dial direct, speak to their loved ones back home, and then pay for the service, and then they'd go home.
Interesting.
So that was how I started, and then I went into clothing retail. Because I'm quite creative, I still love merchandising. So I used to love being in positions where I could put the range together. They'd send, each season there'd be a different range. You'd put it together into the color palettes. And everywhere I worked, I always got promoted. Like, again, I always feel like I'm very blessed in that sense. I go in not really going in with the intent of going into supervisory, but I always get promoted into some kind of supervisory level. And eventually I found myself in management. So I did retail for like 24 years. And then until COVID came, and I decided that I no longer was in love with retail, fashion retail. So I decided to step back.
I want to speak about, because a lot of people, like me being a Ghanaian, for instance, like going to the UK are some of the things that we dream about. But I've heard from so many diasporans, that it's not really as we think it is. Can we speak about even the living conditions and you having to work 2 jobs just to be able to make maybe, I don't know how much the minimum wage or whatever the wages are. Can we speak on that bit?
For me, the 2 jobs part was because of the dream I had for back here. it wasn't compulsory for me to work 2 jobs. I could have just done my 1 job and just carried on paying my bills and doing whatever. But because I knew that I always wanted to come back home, I knew I had to put in that extra, I had to put
Extra
in
work.
that extra work to make that extra, to make the dream a reality. So I had my main job that I used for living, and then the second job was to build the dream back home.
Interesting.
But living conditions, if you come from a big family, you're all living on top of each other. Growing up at home, my parents, and as I said, I'm the eldest of 8 children. Now there's more of us because my parents ended up separating and remarrying. So now I'm the eldest of like 14 now. Obviously they don't all live together now because we're all adults.
Oh, wow.
But there used to be 8 of us. I used to live in a 3-bedroom, so we were all sharing, and and a lot of moving around, waiting to be reaccommodated because of the amount of people that was in my household. It can be good if it's what you want, but when you have a desire in you for something more, it's like you don't feel comfortable.
You don't feel that, yeah.
You don't feel comfortable, and there's always that thing inside you that always making you like, I don't know how to put it, but it's like you know that
you get extra energy to work harder.
Yeah, like you know that I want better for myself. I need better for myself, and so there's always this stirring inside you to do more,
zeal.
to achieve it. Yeah.
Interesting. What you've been able to do here in Ghana is, I was saying in my introduction that it's the dream of most diasporans now. If they're already there, they want to work extra hard, save enough money, buy land and build a house so they can retire in. And if they are not there, they are literally trying to get visa to go to countries like the UK, US to get enough money to come build a house or whatever. So relatively, you've been able to succeed with your family and do a very beautiful thing. What advice would you give to somebody watching this? Is it possible? Is it achievable? What do they have to do to be able to build something beautiful like this for themselves?
I mean, for anyone that wants to leave Ghana, I think it's fine, but always have that thing in the back of your mind that you're going to return. Like, go abroad and make the money, but don't get comfortable there. Do you understand? It's like, whilst you're there, yes, live there, set up a home for yourself, but knowing that that's not forever. That the desire should be to come back. Some people, they're happy to go, they live like sardines on top of each other, but because of embarrassment, they don't even want to let their family back home know what their situation is.
Yeah.
There's so many people, when they come here for holiday, they live in a high life, they're making out like they're in some big jobs.
Creating the illusion that they're really well to do.
Some of them, they're cleaners, and not that there's anything wrong with that, because as I said, my second job, that's what I used to do. I was a self-employed cleaner. And I was self-employed so that I could choose my hours and my days around my main job. So some people, that's what they do. They come here, they make out like, but even with that being said, they still can't string enough together to even buy land. Do you understand? And I mean, back when we bought this, there was land going in areas for like silly prices. Like when I think think about it now, it's like I'm even saying like, I should have had land in every region. Like, do you know? But you live and you learn.
What did you wish you knew? I mean, speaking about the fact that you regret some of this.
I wish I had land in every region.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm Ghanaian, so I think I should own parts of Ghana instead of the foreigners that come and own parts of Ghana.
Just so you guys know, if you want land, I'm the guy you need to reach out to. I have you sorted. Service plots, Afienya, I got you covered. Ebri, I have you covered. Teacher Mante, listen, every location, just ask me, I might get a land for you. And trust me, don't wait to buy and wait. And you'll be surprised how much the value would increase. So yeah, you have to, because now East Legon Hills is full. You can't get land to buy here, right? But then the next village or the next town after East Legon Hills is the next destination. That you need to buy land there now before it's too late. So interesting. So give an advice to people family who are considering relocating, What do you think they have to do before relocating? Do you have to just pack their bags and leave? And how are you transitioning?
I mean, I think to each their own. I'm that type of person. If it was just me, to be honest with you, I would have packed my bags and came. But I'm a family, so I know I can't do it that way. Do you understand? To each their own. If you're a family, you know your partner, you know your kids, and you have to make the decision based on what's best for everybody. Yeah. Sometimes there's some who one will come before the other. Yeah. Sometimes that's how some people do it. So one will stay there and one will come first, and then they'll all come together. Or some people pack up and then they come all together. Ideally for me, I would have liked to have come when my kids were just before secondary school age. It didn't work out like that. That was the plan, but it wasn't God's plan for me at the time. So now that
they're older.
Now that they're older, it's a lot easier to do that move.
I mean, there's a lot of our family. I don't know, where are your parents? Are they back in Ghana or they are still in the UK?
So they are predominantly based in the UK. Mum's actually in the air right now, making her way here now.
Oh, really?
But yeah, so she normally comes and spends some time. My stepdad, he's retired, so he spends about 9 months of his time here and then does 3 months in the UK.
Why do you think most other people find it hard to relocate? Mostly those who went abroad for education, finish and then stay in. When you tell them about Africa or Ghana, it's almost like they're like, you know what, now what am I going to do there? Why do you think that is?
Sometimes I don't know. I think part of it is fear, like the fear of starting all over again. And then also finances.
Finances
plays a big role in it. Even though you can live relatively comfortable here, I think some people, they just think of, if I come here, they think about job instead of trying to start up something for themselves. We all know it's very difficult to find work. Well, not that it's difficult to find work, but the kind of work that you're probably going to get is not going to pay you anything near what you're used to.
Ghana supports entrepreneurship.
Yeah, definitely. It does definitely promotes entrepreneurship. So I think if you, and I find that some people, it's like they have the desire to do it, but that the fear of taking that step. That's why sometimes it's like they see someone they know that's done it, and then that's what inspires them to also then take a leap of faith. Whereas some people, if they've got nobody in their circles that's ever done it before, then they just, and then a lot of people have that crab mentality where, you know how crabs, when one's trying to leave the bucket and one's pulling. So it's like they think they're protecting you, but it's because they...
Living a fear when you tell them I'm moving to Ghana, they're like, huh?
Listen, even when I first told my family, now everyone's changed their mind, but when I first told my family, they'd be like, why? What are you going to do there? What for? Like, that's always the questions that they never...
Instead of encouraging you.
Yeah, it was never the encouraging questions. It was always the negative ones. And the desire to move back came when I was 19, and that was the first time I'd come back to Ghana after leaving when I was 7. I came in 19, and I remember one of my uncles taking me around, and he was so proud of his country. My uncle was so proud that he showed me, look at what Ghana's achieved. Look at this. He took me all to places like Circle and all these places where obviously foreigners come and visit, like tourism. And he was just so proud. And I remember that bred something in me, and I was like, yeah, I want to be here. And that was from since then. It's like I've basically everything I've been doing from then is like to end back here. Yeah. I
mean, the first time you decided to move, right? You're starting the transition. How was that like when you landed back?
So ask me that question again, please.
The first time you decided to move, right? I mean, you're building your house. I'm sure you started building before you came here. But when you decided to come here, spend most of your time, how was it like?
It was just like, it's long overdue. I don't know how else to say it. It's like long overdue. Like I told you earlier, if it was down to me, I would have been here already. Like my game plan was like age 40, I wanted to be here. I'm now 48.
Oh, wow.
You know, so
You
it's
look
like,
very young.
Thank you. Thank you. I have got good genes.
That's good, yeah.
So that was like the aim, and then 40 came and it didn't happen. I was just like, oh, I remember falling into depression for a little while because I really wanted to be here. Like, you know, when I came, whenever I come home, it's like I just get, my spirit gets restored. You know, I don't know. I know you hear people say it all the time. You have to come just to know.
Just to feel it.
What people are trying to express in words, because the words never do it justice. I don't know what it is about this place. Like when you come and you just have that connection. I don't know if it's the sun, if it's the air, yeah.
Yeah, someone said God lives in Ghana.
Yeah, my pastor always says that.
Yeah, God lives in Ghana, so that's why you feel what you feel when you come
God dwells here, yeah.
Yeah. I like that. Let's speak about what you've built. Why did you, let's start again. Why did you choose East Legon Hills?
So I remember visiting East Legon and seeing all these amazing houses, like, and you're like, wow, and I'm like, ooh, I want to live somewhere like this, you know. And then it was like, okay, so where's the next best place? And then we had a friend who had land in East Legon Hills, and they were like, okay, the up and coming area is East Legon Hills. So my husband started the ball rolling, and we ended up buying this plot here. But as I said, when we first got it, it was like bush. There was nothing here. It's almost like, you know, when you're going somewhere, it's like it was like a day trip just to get from East Legon to here. Now, you know,
there's more down there.
Yeah, like,
Malcolm here. KFC just right there.
I've got 2 Malcolms.
Literally.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
What are they telling you the next East Legon Hills? What are they saying it is?
Oh God, I don't even know. Do you know though? So you need to tell me, where is the next East Legon Hills? I basically think anywhere, as you said, within an hour and a half to hour and 40 minutes from main Accra is the next East Legon Hills.
Absolutely.
Because it used to take us more than an hour to get here because of the roads. But once the roads was done, it's like blink of an eye.
Literally. Now you can just go straight to the motorway, and then it's less than 25 minutes to Accra more.
I mean, airport.
Yeah.
When at the time of the night when you land, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
You're here.
Interesting.
You know.
Interesting. My next question for you is, in terms of this neighborhood, right? How is like the security, like?
It's very calm here. It's very quiet. You know, like anywhere, like when you kind of take time to get to know the locals, that also helps. Because can you imagine, like, if anyone that they don't recognize in the area is even looking at your property, they will alert
question
you.
the person.
Yeah, they'll question the person. So it's always good to, you know, make yourself familiar with the locals, because that's also an added security. But this place is calm.
Yeah, and I like the whole. You have a fence wall, so it protects it from people just scaling over. Because recently I traveled out. I came back to Ghana. The night or day after the night I arrived in Ghana, slept and opened my window, forgot to close it. Someone's killed my fence, and then stole my phone. So my window, I woke up and my window is open. My extension board is out the window, and my phone and the charger was gone.
That happened to my mum once as well. Yeah.
So you have the fence, and it's always very good to have that extra layer of security. Now let's speak about some of the amenities you have. Tell us some of the amenities you have, the features that this house actually have.
So I mean, I'm not so futuristic. I don't have anything like Suri or, you know. I'm not too pushed to go and turn the lights on myself or close my curtains. So so obviously we've got, each room has its own ensuite bathrooms with showers, and then we've got the 2 guest toilets for both up and down. Again, I think it wasn't even intentional, but it's just because we were trying to mirror up and down. That's why. So so we've got this lovely massive living room. You can see right up to the ceiling.
It's kind of like an open concept.
Yeah. So so you got the mezzanine open concept, as you said. So if I've got visitors that come in and I'm upstairs, I can just look over and
see them
before I even make my way down.
And one of the nicest things that I like about this house is you have 2 master bedrooms. I know people don't like us to say
they
it,
don't
but
like calling it that.
yeah, I don't agree to. I'm building a project, and all the 4 rooms are the same, and they are all masters en suite.
Yeah.
So I get it, but you do have 2 rooms that looks the same.
Yeah.
What inspired that idea?
So, okay. So I'm still young. So I said I'll start upstairs while I still have my strength and my youth.
I see.
And when I'm too old to climb the stairs, I'll now come downstairs, but I still want the same kind of space and yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Even
What
though
about
I'm going to live to a
yeah?
very
What
old
is
age.
yeah? You don't want to?
As I'm going to live to a very old age. Yeah.
Amen. Amen to that. Because I have a friend, I think we were communicating, and it's like, why do always the husband worry about building up? I want to build this mansion. How are you going to climb upstairs after you are, you know?
Yeah, I thought about that.
Yeah. So it's good you have a backup plan.
That. Yeah, I just, I don't know. It's like, when we first started having the dream to build, I always just wanted to be able to stand on a balcony and just look over. I know it sounds very,
Yeah.
but I live in a 1-bedroom flat with my family in the UK. So for me to achieve this, it's like a dream come true. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And it's like the small pleasures that I take in this is being able to stand on a balcony and look down.
I like that.
Do you know?
I like it. Now we have to get you in a balcony looking down. I think that would be a good video. So my next question to you is, what inspired you to include a pool? And is it a common feature in homes here in Ghana?
I don't know about it being common. However, so when I had the vision to build this place, I always imagine my children being at home, being able to swim. So sometimes we would pay money to go on holiday and we would pay for all inclusive, and it had to have a pool because they love swimming. So I figured, why don't we build our own resort at home? So that was the inspiration behind building the pool. Yeah.
Interesting. Oh wow. Okay. Are there any eco-friendly features or smart features that you have installed here?
I wouldn't. Yeah. There's no smart features. Everything.
I mean, the fan is smart.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, because
how many fans in Africa use remotes?
I hear you. I suppose.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, I think a smart feature is when you or you speak it for it to do.
Okay,
Yeah. That's to me, that's a smart feature.
Okay.
But you still have to
Okay, I get it. But what about eco-friendly? Do you have any eco-friendly?
Eco-friendly.
I mean, with the garden at the back.
Eco-friendly. I mean, yeah, with the garden, I suppose the eco-friendly is like when I incorporate the green spaces and invite nature into the compound, then that will make it a bit more eco-friendly. And then things like your appliances, buying the ones that are eco-friendly, like in terms of the running costs, yeah, things like that. So like from the AC to things like your fridge, freezer.
Let's speak a little briefly, estimatedly, about the cost of building something like that. Let's just take it one at a time.
Okay.
Right. A lot of my friend, I mean, he's a developer, and that he always advised that build on a single level, don't go up. When you go up, it gets expensive. Let's speak about some of the things you can talk about.
Okay, so I mean, from because in the beginning, I did used to list down the costings, but I used to do it on a laptop that I had. So when that laptop died, I kind of lost
all the prices.
Yeah, the information. So some things, memory-wise, it's like, oh, I can't really remember. But I remember when we got up to, I think when we got right up to the top before the roof came on, I don't remember, we had spent something like 40,000 sterling. And that was when we decided to stop for a couple of years and take a break. And then we continued again. Then we got the roof, the windows, done, the doors. And then a lot of the costs came from doing corrections.
I see.
That
So you have
was
to
where-
break it down
yeah,
and then rebuild
so
it
some
again.
things were, had to be either, a lot of corrections cost us a lot of money. If I had to hazard a guess for the whole thing, I'd say, this is me guessing.
Yes,
I'm not
yeah.
saying,
And then, I mean, because of inflation,
yeah,
so some of the prices will not be the same.
Yeah.
But it would give an idea to people what to expect.
Yeah.
You know, obviously the pounds is stronger than the cedi. So most of the time, you know.
yeah, and then and I don't know, hubby probably disagree with me with this, but it's just because I know I've probably forgot some of the stuff we've had to pay for. But I'd say anything between 140 to 150,000
USD.
pounds, yeah,
pounds
because
sterling.
I
Okay.
deal with sterling, so
Okay.
people can do their conversion. Yeah.
No, that's actually quite, you know, cheaper.
But that's again because a lot of it we did it ourselves instead of
okay.
using contractors, because you know, like the overheads, if you're getting somebody else in, you have to pay them as well.
I see.
So that helped to
see.
save a lot. And then we had sourcing like people that doing the work for us. Some of them, so in the early stages, a lot of them was us giving people a chance that were just kind of new in their doing their trade.
Oh, I see.
And I guess that's why some of the stuff went wrong.
I see,
Because,
yeah.
you
So
know,
you had to pay the price for that.
Yeah, well, we had to pay the price for it, but it gave us experience, you know. Costly experience, but yeah.
I like the house, just so you know. I like the house. I'm sure so many people watching would have questions. And then I'm sure I'll put your name so they can ask you some of the questions. And guys, most of these questions, I think it's best if you have a one-on-one conversation so they can give you the nitty-gritty, the details of it. Feel free to reach out to her. You know, I think I would have a YouTube channel on the screen and also some of the contacts. How do people reach out to you?
So at the moment it's via email, or they can private message me on Instagram.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I want to speak about what do you really miss about the UK now that you are considering moving here. What do you think you would miss if you finally move down here?
It's just that with the UK, it's the ease of everything. It's like, you know, you can come out your house, you catch a bus, you catch the tube to get to places. Here, it's like, it's either trotro or especially if you don't have a car, you know, or the Uber. Sometimes the way the Uber and the boats treat you, it's like you want to cry, you know.
They leave you and then
you book the ride, they say they're coming, next thing you know they're not coming.
They cancel.
They'll call you, they've heard your accent, then they cancel on you. It's just silly things like that. Or they'll turn up and then you've told them, even though you've already said where you're going, they've just taken the job but without checking, and then they come, Madam, I'm not going there again. And it's like,
you wasted your
you're
time.
like, what? So, and then even things that go into the shops, is that, you know, the ease of doing that. Those
the conveniences.
Yeah, I mean, but again, with me, I don't mind. It's like I don't mind getting on a trotro and going into the town.
You've used a trotro before?
I do it all the time.
Oh, really?
It's just because people don't recognize me, thank God. But you know, but yeah, I use the trotro all the time. Obviously, because I'm not 100% based here, I don't have a car. But every now and then when I'm here, there's a friend that loans me a car. So sometimes then that makes life a lot easier.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's amazing. We're about to wrap up the whole conversation. Let's give some advice to friends and families who are considering relocating to Ghana.
I mean, me being biased, I'll say to do it. But definitely come and visit first, because it took me coming back home, age 19, for me to have that vision. And I'm not going to lie, Ghana is not for everybody. You know, that's why you kind of need to come in and have that visit and do that groundwork to see whether it is for you or not. And also, if you're coming as an individual or as a family, you have to consider all this stuff as well. You understand? But definitely visit first to get a feel of the land, see if it is for you or not. And it doesn't have to be Ghana necessarily. There's other places in Africa that you can try out as well. So. Yeah.
Let's just do some quick comparison, right? what you've been able to do here in Ghana, what do you think would have taken for you to do the same in the UK? Build something like that.
Based on my personal situation, the best I could do was a mortgage.
A mortgage?
Yeah.
Okay.
But this is mine.
Paid for.
Yeah, do you understand? This is mine. I'm not owning a bank for 25, 30 years. But if I could do it in the UK, I'm going to be paying a bank for 25, 30 years. And even then, who knows? Because the inflation, they've just, like, a lot of people are crying at the moment because their mortgage prices have gone up, like the interest rate. So, yeah, this is mine. No one's coming to tell me, you know, the disclaimer that they put. You may lose your home if you don't put it. Yeah. I don't have that disclaimer.
So you can pay for 25 years, miss some payments in the last 5 years, and you might lose your house.
Less than 5 years, mate.
Interesting.
They're not going to give you 5 years to not pay.
But this is yours forever.
This is mine.
I like that.
And it took me less than 25 years.
Wow.
I mean, to build this.
This.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I mean, some people, they do this in months. You know, it's taken us 8 years, but
it's yours
it's
now.
mine.
I like that. I like that. A lot of people try to criticize when people are building down here. They think, oh, there's some hidden charges. Were there some hidden charges that caught you off guard when building in Ghana?
I think it's the initial, you know, like you've bought your land and you think, oh my God, yeah, that's it, I've got land, and you get happy, and then you start building, and then all of a sudden someone would turn up and say, you need to pay this fee, you need to pay that fee. Then you also have the land guards that, you know how you see the message on people's wall, stop building here, like, because they've not paid.
Yeah.
There's clearing fee. Those were the ones that caught me off guard, because I was like, huh?
But like, were they like a big amount, or was just?
I mean, in relation to your overall cost, no, but it's still annoying, because you wish you were told at the beginning, like when you was kind of purchasing the land, or when you go to, you know, like when you take your plans that you want to start building, that they should be telling you all this. But they don't. They don't tell you. It's like a boom, surprise. Someone just turns up.
And then you have to go to and pay.
And then they'll frustrate your workers, because it's like
they'll pack your wheelbarrow, you have to go and take it. Let me ask you this about the land. Did you face any issue with the land ownership or legal processes in the beginning?
No, because we got it from a trusted source. As I was saying to you earlier, it was only later the incoming chief, a younger guy who now was coming around the area trying to get more money off of people, and
Interesting. The question to you is, do you think more people are moving to Ghana because of lifestyle changed, or because they're just tired from the UK?
I'd say it's a bit of both, because if the lifestyle you wanted was there, then you wouldn't want the change, would you really? So it's like here you can have everything you want, really and truly. And that was always one of my motto. In the UK, I can't have it, but in Ghana, I can have it all. That's the motto that I have for myself. Because, as I said, I could never have a house like this there. I'm not going to say never, but it would come at a price that I probably wouldn't be able to pay.
I mean, after you finish paying, you probably have a few years left.
Do you see what I mean? Unless I'm going to some criminal activity or something, you know?
Yeah.
But, yeah.
No, I like that. I mean, I've heard someone say, that's why I repeat it to you. It's like,
but you know,
you finish paying your mortgage, and then you have 5 years left, and then you die, and then...
And that is not...
And even your children have to pay like hefty amount just to inherit the property.
Thank you.
You know?
Even now, with a new government that have come in, Labour, there's all these new rules and policy, whereas before, like, someone could, like now, the inheritance tax, if you used to be able to... leave your will and say that, okay, this is what I want my children to have, but it's not the case. Even down to your life insurance now, you can't will it to a loved one. You know, so there's all they're squeezing people more and more. They're making it very, very difficult for you to even leave an inheritance for your
I want to be able to understand the UK a bit. How much is like needed for you to live like a basic standard life in the UK every year?
Gosh. I mean, it will depend if you're renting versus mortgage. To be honest with you, I don't know how to answer that question. I don't know.
Because I want to be able to compare to see if Ghana is cheaper. Obviously, it would be cheaper, but how much cheap will it be?
It's cheaper if you're doing conversion.
Okay, it's cheaper.
If you're doing conversion, it's cheaper. But when you're in the system, don't do conversion because it will cost you even more. Because you know you wouldn't spend the same way there. But you come here because you think, oh, you oh, £2. Oh, like don't do that. Take it for so to me, if I take an Uber and they say 60 cedis, in my head I'm thinking £60.
Oh, for real?
I know it's not, but I have to look at it that way because for me to say whether something's expensive or not. If I do comparison, then obviously it's cheaper, but I don't do that because before you know it, the money's gone.
It will help your bargaining power.
Do you understand? Yeah, because when you do that, the money's gone.
Yeah. No, I've seen someone tip someone 400 cedis. She was coming from the UK. And then I was the Ghanaian. I'm like, you don't tip some. I know the person did a great job, but you don't tip that much.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money. Just like £400.
That's what I'm saying. You have to look at it as
and then the person didn't like me. It's like, why
because of it, yeah.
Why are you not allowing me to tip? The guy is working, and I'm like, okay, you are a tourist, so it's good. But you can't live in Ghana.
But then it's like the next person that doesn't tip them that way. It causes
so you're causing
issues.
trouble for the people who come after you.
Because now, as you say, you order a Uber or Bolt because they know that the other person that had the same accent as yours paid them
400 tips.
Yeah. So you've paid the 60 cedis, and then they're giving you 100 cedis as tip. So now they're expecting you to use that as the whole fare.
Exactly.
It's not fair.
Exactly.
And not everybody's pocket is the same. Just because somebody's come from the UK doesn't mean that they've come with money. Most people, they've had to save up for a few months to accrue their spending money before they come here.
Do you think Ghanaians have misconceptions about people in the UK?
Yeah.
What are some of them?
That the money's just there. Like
Mention 3.
I remember talking to my auntie. I remember one time I went to get my hair done with my auntie, and her and her friend were having a conversation in Tree because the friend didn't realize I understood, and she was saying how UK people are stingy compared to the Americans because the Americans come from a tip culture. You know, they tip. You get good service, they give tips. Whereas the UK, it's like it's all in the price. You don't do extra unless you really. The person's gone above and beyond, but you're not going to pay someone a tip for just doing their job. Do you understand? So one of the misconceptions is that yes, the UK people are stingy.
Is it a misconception now?
I don't think UK people are.
I think I've heard that misconception too.
I don't know. Because, as I said, it's a culture. America is a culture. In the UK, it's not a culture.
It's true.
So when you put the two together, it looks like UK people have been stingy.
True.
It's not. It's a culture that Americans have. Like
that makes sense.
Grown up with, so it's for them. It's just like something they do.
That makes sense.
Whereas in the UK, it's not something we do. So it's like but you have an expectation of us because an American did it.
That's true.
Do you know?
You've cleared my misconception.
Do you understand? So that's a misconception.
And one more.
And oh God, what else is there? Yeah, that we all come and we got money. What else? I don't know.
Yeah, because when we do the conversion and we see that £1 sterling is 22 Ghana cedis, I'm like, what? So imagine if you have 100. That's when the calculation comes in. I'm like, oh, these people are rich.
But you see, as I said to you, some people have had to save up. I remember my first trip back home when I was 19. I spent close to a year saving up for my pocket money.
Interesting.
And then I came and I sorted out all my family. So I came with my spending money, and I also came with money to dash out to family.
Pay black taxes.
Taxes. I came to sort out my family, so I made sure everyone got something. So because it was the first time I was coming home. So subsequent visits, they were always expected from me, and I was just like, oh my God, like I'm not prepared. Do you know?
So it has become a norm where
you have to come with something. Oh, it's too much.
Gift. When we say, oh, someone is coming from abroad, I'm like, yeah, there's
something
a gift.
Small, something small. That one.
I like your story. You do have a unique story.
And then. So I stopped dashing money because I was trying to build this. If I kept dashing the money, I wasn't, you know.
Yeah,
it's like once I'm back to, I'll start dashing again.
We are on pause. You're on pause at the moment.
Yeah.
I like that. You have a very unique story, and congratulations on this house. It looks
Thank
very
you.
beautiful.
Thank you very much.
If you have kind of any final messages to people watching, anybody who have been inspired by your story, your experience building this beautiful story, building, what would that advice be?
It's just to say that I know that deep down a lot of people have a dream to achieve similar, if not more. And again, fear is always that factor. And they think because maybe they don't have the finances up front, but you can always start from where you are at. You know, you get your pay, you can budget, set something aside for yourself for your dream. And I was telling you earlier, like I've always had that thing where you pay yourself first and then you get paid, take something aside for you to build your dream, because no one else is coming to build it for you. Do you understand? So using your wage to acquire some kind of wealth or assets for yourself, start that way. You don't have, you know, there's some people, they come in and they want to go big straight away. You have to start from the ground first, you know. So you know you want something you don't have yet, start small. Start putting something aside for yourself. If you want to come and build, look outside of the city of Accra, because you know now it's oversaturated. The price sometimes is not going to be in the bracket that you can afford, but you can easily find places that, you know, it's a bit more affordable to you. And then before you know, you close your eyes in 5 years.
It's now a city.
It's going to be a city all on its own. You know?
Places like that is Afienya. Afienya has that potential. You know, there's new train that they just launched.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And it's passing through Afienya. We do have lands available there. You know, I always say this: don't wait to buy. Buy and wait, because when you wait to buy, you can't afford. When the time you think you're ready, you can't afford it. So yeah, would you recommend people to buy land?
Always, all day, every day. Especially if you're like a Ghanaian, like who is abroad. Like you should be the one that owns a piece of your country, not a foreigner. Sorry to say, no disrespect to any foreigners, but they're coming and they're just buying them all up cheap. You know, even like I said, even if it's just the one plot that you can afford, just buy the one plot. Have something, own a bit of your country instead of having other people own it for you.
I like that. I like that. That was good advice.
Yeah, always.
Because I've seen a lot of businesses come and thrive, and most of them are just now, if they don't send the money out of the country, they reinvest it into real estate. And mostly it's huge amount of money is because they are, you know, getting a lot of profit, and they buy acres and acres. I bought a land, one of my developments. It's on the way to Kumasi. I can show you guys the footage, and I bought an acre, about just 10, 20 acres. After mine, Chinese bought 50.
You see,
next to me, about to do a whole factory and all those things. I can't even compete. You know, these people are coming with hefty amount of money. And all you can do is just do whatever amount. If you have a 5,000 pounds or whatever, just get a land somewhere, 1 hour, 30 minutes, 50 minutes away from Accra. And the next 10 years or less, it's going to be like East Legon. Because listen, when you go outside of Africa, right, or even outside of Ghana, that's when you see how much people respect Ghana.
Ghana is true.
You know, everybody wants to come to Ghana.
Like Ghana is trending now.
It is, right?
Before it wasn't cool.
Yeah, and you can literally, before it wasn't. But now you can literally see buildings coming up fast and spreading out. Before if you want nice houses, you have to come to East Legon before you see a nice house. Now you go to Sprinters, there's nice house. You go to Afienya, there's nice house. It's like everywhere now. Even Kumasi. You know, so the development is not just in Accra, it's everywhere. You know, so my advice to you, as me that I buy land most often, is get land 2 hours within maximum. You should buy it, and then you never regret it.
You say 2 hours, but in a few years' time, that 2 hours is going to cut down because of the development of the roads.
Because the road is going to be, so you probably get there less. Yeah. For me, I had my land is, it used to be more than 2 hours, but now they've made a road, and now I use the Blue Mountains to get to the land, and it's 1 hour 30 minutes. I'm there. You know, and it keeps reducing. Now they are fixing the straight one to the Achimota. It's now dusty, but as soon as that is done, cut to 1
It's
hour.
gonna cut, yeah.
And they keep doing the road, they keep cutting
It
to a
keeps-
point where now you can live there and go to work in Accra City.
Yes.
You know, but
Yeah,
people don't see it in the
commute.
beginning.
Because it's like, why, even like, why are you building in Ghana? Like, like, and I've heard someone say this before, like people used to treat Ghana as their graveyard.
Graveyard, yeah.
Yeah. So they build, and then they say when they retire. And I'm going to tell you a story. So I used to work somewhere, and there was this older Ghanaian lady who retired, and she came back to Ghana for 4 months, and then she ran back to the UK.
Wow.
And then came back and took part-time job in the same place that she was working.
Wow.
And I was just like, you see, because she's come when she's too tired to really do anything. You understand?
Yeah.
So when I come, as I said, I still want to come when I'm full of vim
Yeah.
and my energy is there so that I can do stuff.
I like that.
Not when I'm old and I'm tired. Even though when you're old and you come here, it's like it gives you some lease of life still. I see it with my parents. Yeah.
I agree. I think that will touch a lot of people's heart. What you just said right there. A lot of people wait for them to get to like their 60s and then move back. By then you are weak, you can't really go around.
Yeah.
You spend most of your time home. You can't really get to enjoy. Even if you've built a nice house and you have this nice mansion, you can't even climb upstairs. No, that's very true. So what you said there is key.
Yeah.
Would you say all this process, this journey of you building this dream home has been worth it for you?
Definitely. I mean, you look at this. It's definitely worth it. Yeah. Because when we used to come before, we'd always used to stay with friends, family, and you always feel like you're inconveniencing them as well, And even sometimes you get up, you want to go out and do your own thing, but you kind of feel like they feel responsible for you as well.
So you have to come here early or something.
And then obviously like you're going out, and it's like you kind of feel obliged to even take them with you, and vice versa. They feel obliged, So yeah.
So this gives you the freedom a little bit. I like that, guys. This has been a very great conversation, and thank you for allowing us to your home and then having a conversation with you, sharing the details and the process of your, journey to Ghana and building this beautiful home. We appreciate it.
Thank you too. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. So if it's your first time here, please don't forget to like the video, share to friends and family, comment down below. Don't forget, if you want to get land, you can reach out to me, link in the description. If you want a consultation on how have patience build this amazing home in the heart of Accra, in the most sought after location right now in Ghana, Accra, reach out to her, link in the description. Go check out her YouTube page. She actually shared the whole process, down to building her pool, down to building literally every single step. So if you are interested in building in Ghana and want someone to follow their blueprint, she is the one. So go check it out and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And without further ado, you have any final message for the people?
I will say, guys, in fact, if you are interested in land in Kumasi, reach out to me, okay? Because I can hook you up.
Kumasi just literally had a new airport.
Yeah, there you go. I can hook you up.
Yeah, I love that. I'm telling you, Kumasi Airport, anything around Kumasi Airports, get it. Anyways, reach out to her and go get it. All right, so it's been an amazing conversation. Thank you for watching, and without further ado, let's just say bye-bye to the people watching, all right?
Bye.